This morning, family members of hostages were hoping to learn about loved ones possibly returning home, but the deal to release those in capture has been delayed. Israel government officials now saying they believe the exchange of hostages for prisoners will go ahead on Friday. This agreement is expected to start with the release of 50 Israelis, mostly civilian women and children, who've been held hostage by Hamas for 47 days. Mayan Shavit's two cousins were captured, an aunt and a cousin were captured on October 7th by Hamas militants. She's joining us this morning. Mayan, I'm sorry about the news of the delay. How are you feeling?
It's a horrific holocauster. You know, it's an emotion holocauster. It's a game of emotion. Unfortunately, the Israelis know too well by Hamas, the back and forth. How can you make a deal if the Hamas didn't even sign it yet? How can you make a deal if Israel didn't even receive the list of the released? It's just, you know, and the way the deal is hurtful, is heartbreaking, that only less than 12 hours each day before the release, we will know the names of the released. Mm-hmm. I don't sleep, I don't eat. The most horrific thing is that even though I'm very happy that kids finally will be home, even though at least 10 of them, of the 30 kids that were kidnapped, almost 40, the Hamas don't even know where they are. So they need ceasefire to be able to look for them. And my cousin and my cousin's wife, unfortunately, because they're not in that age group, they're not going to be on that list. And that even bring more heartbreak and more sleepless night, not knowing what will be on them, because every hour, every minute, every second that passes is a death threat for everybody, you know, for the people that are going to be left behind. And we don't know how long it's going to take, what we'll have to do to bring them back. Don't forget that we are releasing, even though that we are releasing women and children from prison, those women and children are people, civilians, that were trying to kill us. That the only reason that they've been released is because they haven't succeeded in their job of killing a Jew. That's the only reason that they're being released.
Mayan, I want to ask you about your family members that you are waiting anxiously to hear news of and of being released. And I want to talk about something that you had just mentioned. Part of what this agreement was talking about is releasing women and children first in particular, and sort of the priority would be given to mothers who were with children. So that was sort of the order that you were referencing. Can you tell us, first of all, about your cousins who were taken?
On that horrific Saturday, my cousin Carmel Gat was the first to be led out of the house, handcuffed, put in the car, and drove straight to Gaza. And we heard nothing of her, about her, since then. We don't know where she is. We don't even know if the Hamas know where she is. And then they took my aunt, Kinneret, and we saw that on a video that Hamas posted. She's being led with other 4 from Kibbutz Be'eri, and later on we saw in another video that my cousin and the other 4 of Kibbutz Be'eri are laying dead on the floor in a pool of blood. And then they took my cousin alone, his wife Yarden, and their 3-year-old daughter, handcuffed them, put them in a car with 8 to 10 other terrorists, and drove straight to Gaza. Just before the border, about 300 meters before the border, IDF tank arrived. The terrorists got scared. They jumped, most of them jumped out of the car. And at that moment, my cousin alone and his wife Yarden decided, we are jumping. They held the daughter, jump out of the car, while being shot at, start running. At the moment, Yarden, the mother, in a heroic move, just threw Geffen into a lawn and said, you run faster, you take her. Start running and save her. And so he did. But she was slowing down to give them more time to run away, and they hid for 20 hours in the field until my cousin Alon and his daughter Yarden arrived back to the IDF hand in Kibbutz Be'eri. But the mother, my cousin's wife, Yarden Roman Gat, was not so lucky and was recaptured and taken into Gaza. And again, we don't know where she is, but we do know she's in the hand of the Hamas.
Maya, I am sorry for the disappointment in what you've learned this morning about this delay to the deal. And I want to thank you for joining us this morning. I know it has been an agonizing 47 days for you and for your family, for members of the community. Thank you for taking time to be with us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.